Hello everyone, and welcome to my British Royal Family official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to former royal butler Paul Burrell, the Duke of Sussex's unforgivable behaviour in recent years has resulted in the royal family pulling the drawbridge up on him. According to former royal butler Paul Burrell, Prince Harry is no longer royal in the eyes of the royal family. The Duke of Sussex was in the UK the previous evening as he showed up at a foundation occasion, introducing an honour and giving a discourse. He is perceived to have gone directly to Germany toward the beginning of today for the beginning of the Invictus Games. He won't be spending the first anniversary of the Queen's death with his family, not even his wife and children, who are at home in California, so he won't be celebrating. However, the former royal butler does not believe Prince Harry would be welcomed, as the royal family claims to have pulled the drawbridge up on Harry as they privately mark the first anniversary of the late Queen's death. He said in the interview with Slingo that the divide between the royals has become irreparable because it has grown so wide now. Burrell stated, "On a day that is very dear to them, why would they want to embrace him? I don't figure he will be welcome to private commemorations. I think the regal family have pulled the drawbridge up, and they are joining powers now and staying together in light of the fact that they're harmed. They feel hurt by his remarks in various outlets now. This has been going on for a good number of years prior to the Queen's death, and I believe they believe that what he has done and said is unforgivable. Therefore, why would they want to embrace him on a day that is very dear to them? Therefore, I believe the king will spend this time at Balmoral with his queen and his family." Burrell, a former butler to Diana, Princess of Wales, and a servant to the British royal household, claims that Harry's family now views him as a celebrity rather than a royal. He stated, "Harry no longer receives invitations to family gatherings. He is no longer welcome among their ranks. Presently he's at this point not imperial in their eyes. He is well known. He harmed them. He's harmed his dad, his siblings, sister by marriage, his stepmother. That is to say, truly, he's been very merciless in harming such countless individuals." Burrell likewise believes that the main individual who could now fix the break is Harry's mom, the late Princess Diana. He stated, "Except for the Spencers, he has managed to criticize everyone who existed in Diana's world. They do not appear to have escaped his fury." However, those who were certain to be present at the time, including myself, have endured harsh remarks, and to be honest, he caused his grandmother distress as she neared the end of her life and brought concerns to her door that she did not comprehend. That break has developed so wide at this point, it doesn't seem like it can be crossed. I believe it cannot be fixed. Diana, who is not present, I believe, would have been the only person who would have repaired the situation. Before heading to Germany for the Invictus Games, Prince Harry arrived in the UK yesterday for a charity event. According to a survey conducted by Express.co.uk, 88% of our readers do not believe that Harry should become a member of the royal family on the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death. Ruler Charles and Sovereign Camilla are denoting the main commemoration of Sovereign Elizabeth's passing secretly, with remembrance petitions at Crathy Ward Church. Ruler Charles seemed to keep down tears as he was driven back to Balmoral Palace subsequent to going to a confidential community gathering in Crathy Kirk earlier today. He is deciding to stamp the day, which likewise connotes the day he became ruler, with private dedication petitions and a snapshot of calm reflection. After a 30-minute service and brief walkabout, Charles, wearing a red tartan kilt, and Camilla, wearing a blue day dress and cardigan, were pictured returning to Balmoral. The king appeared overcome with emotion. Camilla was seated with a stunning flower arrangement in her hand. The king's mother passed away peacefully on September 8 last year at Balmoral, aged 96, after reigning for a historic 70 years, so this morning's event will be very personal for him. The king and queen made the short trip from Balmoral to the Scottish Church just before 10 a.m., where they were joined by a small group of guests. Individuals from the general population, including students from Crathie Grade School, Balmoral Domain labourers and individuals from the imperial family assembled external in the pre-winter daylight. Charles and Camilla were accompanied by the Earl of Snowdon and Lady Sarah Chatto, the late Queen's niece and nephew. The late sovereign was near her sister Princess Margaret's youngsters, particularly woman Sarah, who she saw frequently. Lady Sarah was accompanied by her husband Daniel and their 2 children, Samuel and Arthur, and the Earl was accompanied by his daughter, Lady Margarita Armstrong-Jones. The sermon was being delivered by Ian Torrance, the former Dean of the Chapel Royal in Scotland. Before departing to meet some of the well-wishers, the King and Queen remained inside the church for about 30 minutes. After that, they made their way back to Balmoral Castle, where they will continue their day. Ruler William and Kate will visit the Welsh Church of Tastavids for a short confidential help as a feature of an excursion to Pembrokeshire sometime in the afternoon. This comes after they posted the following message on Twitter this morning. Today, we remember Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth's extraordinary life and legacy. All of us miss you. W&C. It was accompanied by a family photo of the late monarch surrounded by her 2 youngest grandchildren, as well as her 3 great-grandchildren, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Just 2 days before Liz Truss's death in September of last year, the late Queen met with her. Liz Truss, who was Prime Minister at the time of the late monarch's death, has shared details from her final meeting with the monarch. The superb minster, who ventured down from her political position not long later, met with the late sovereign on September 6, only 2 days before her demise. The late sovereign died on September 8 at Balmoral, which is where she had been remaining for the mid-year. On September 6, 2022, the late Queen had welcomed Miss Truss to her home in the Scottish Highlands to appoint her Prime Minister, but she was unable to travel to London due to health issues. As per Anne's support, the late sovereign let previous state head know that they would be meeting again soon at her last authority commitment before her demise. Miss Truss recalled that the King was very, very resolute when she spoke to him on the phone the day his mother died and his reign began. She was speaking to GB News to commemorate the first anniversary of the late Queen's death and to talk about the period that followed. The politician said that the monarch, who was 96 when she died, looked frail. However, the monarch said that she was mentally alert and absolutely on top of the events, and she reassured Miss Truss that they would meet again soon. She stated she was completely aware of what was going on in the meeting at Balmoral. She was extremely eager to reassure me that we would soon meet again. She placed a very high value on it. Miss Brackett added, despite the fact that she was truly very fragile, she was totally awake. In addition, there were no signs that the late Queen was seriously ill, according to the former Prime Minister. It was obvious that I was only in my first few days as Prime Minister. I was contemplating a plethora of topics. Yet, the supposition totally was that this would be the first of numerous gatherings. Miss Truss mentioned the late monarch, saying she was extremely determined to complete her duty. We had a wonderful meeting. She was positive. Miss Truss recalled how on September 7, she was informed of a worsening situation, which included the postponement of a Privy Council meeting. I arrived for the meeting just before 6 o'clock. We waited for a few minutes as everyone else was waiting for the news that the Queen would no longer be able to attend the meeting. Furthermore, that was the principle I knew about it. However, it was evidently a very alarming sign, she informed Cameron Walker, the royal correspondent for GB News. Miss Truss commented on September 8, things were obviously deteriorating the following day, so it was an unfolding acknowledgement, I think, for my purposes, yet for my partners, that we were confronting. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.